Good morning all. I'll call the meeting open. Warren Shire Council acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands within Warren Shire and acknowledges the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who reside within the Shire. Calling now for apologies and applications for leave of absence. We have apologies from Mayor Whiteley, Councillor Cleasby, Councillor Brewer and Councillor Kinsey. I think everyone else is here. Could I have somebody to move? Thank you, Councillor McCloskey. And second, Councillor Kelly. Thank you very much. Moving on now to confirmation of minutes from the meeting held on Thursday, 26th of February. Somebody to move and to second, Councillor Jackson, Councillor Surdity. Thank you both. Moved and seconded. All in favour? Thank you. Disclosures of interest, we have nil, unless there are any to be brought forward now. Nil, thank you. Moving on then, I will look for a mover and a seconder. So the Mayor doesn't generally need to have a mover and a seconder, but I will today. I'm happy to move the mayoral minute, which I believe you're on your table. If I can move that and have somebody to second. Councillor Houston, thank you very much. So we have 11 items here to go through. So firstly, Anzac Day, being Saturday 25th of April. We are organised for the Warren events, but we do ideally need a councillor to attend at Colli if anyone is available to do that. And I believe that is an 11 a.m. service. So if you could have a think and confirm your availability possibly to attend at Colli. The Mayor is away, so I will be here at the dawn service and the 11 a.m. service. But if anyone is able and willing to attend at Colli, that would be great. Thank you. Next, we have the Recycling Services Survey. So that survey has been on the website and advertised quite extensively on Facebook, in our council newsletter and also in the paper. I'm not sure the number of responses we've had, but I know that I've seen it in a lot of places. There's also been hard copies at the library and here at council, and I do know that there have been some councillors who are actively handing those out in paper form as well. So that's just a general reminder to tell people and fill it out yourself if you haven't already. The next on the list is just a note on the attendance of myself, the Mayor and General Manager at the retired Broganshire Council Mayor Ray Donald's funeral. So that was last Tuesday, 17th of March. That was a very, very moving event and very well attended. Being Rex's cousin as well. He was also a very long-serving member of council and involved in other levels of local government also. So it's good that we were able to attend that and represent Warren Shire Council. Next on the list, the Mayor and General Manager attended the Connecting the Orana and Hunter Beyond Transport Task Force meeting held in Maitland on Thursday the 12th of March. So the Mayor probably would have more comment on that, but the general points to make is that they expressed concerns over delays and the impact on freight costs over the Golden Highway. So it was a bit of a listening exercise, but yes, I guess from Warren Shire Council's point of view, those are the main concerns over that work. Member for Parks, Jamie Chaffey MP, collective budget submissions. I don't have much more information on that accept that we have contributed some information to that submission. I do have a whole wad of paper here with a copy of what was sent to Jamie, if anyone would like to have a read, but I won't go through that in its entirety right now. Continued law and order problems and concerns in Warrenshire. So that's a general point on Mayoral Minute, but I guess the most recent update is that the Mayor, General Manager and myself did have a meeting yesterday at lunchtime with Sergeant Rankin, Inspector Robert Bevan, who is based in Dubbo, and Superintendent Tim Chin. So basically expressing concerns over recent events and goings on in Warren that I'm sure we're all very well aware of. The Mayor has also been in direct contact with Roy Butler, expressing those same concerns. So trying to lobby and make sure that everyone is aware of what is happening and how our community has been feeling. As you're aware, the Mayor and General Manager are away, so the next couple of points are in relation to that. So they're attending the Country Mayors Association. There's a financial sustainability workshop and dinner with New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon. The Country Mayors Association ordinary meeting, which is tomorrow. And there's also an opportunity that Warrenshire Council has been given to present to the New South Wales Local Government Remuneration Tribunal. So that's a direct meeting, which will also be happening tomorrow. This afternoon, there is a Macquarie Womble River Water Security Project drop-in session. I believe that Councillor Wass at least is attending. I plan to attend, but if anyone else is able to, this afternoon from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the golf club. The last on the list is, it says response to Murray database review. That is in relation to a response being developed at the moment from Alliance. So Warrenshire Council being a key part of that, involved in a joint submission in response to the review. So that's also being assisted by RDA Orana. So that is the Mayoral Minutes. Are there any questions further? I've got plenty of further information here in this pile. But yes, that's what I'm moving today. Questions, comments?
Just one, if I may. The session at the golf club this afternoon is in relevance to what is it about? Like,
I will invite Councillor Voss to.
There's been a review. Warren Council has been a supporter of an upgrade to Burrendong Dam to 120% to ensure, sort of a 3-year reliability of town water supplies. The department have done have used 4 options. One, they've canned the 120% option because they say it's economic analysis found the costs, including environmental impacts and environmental outcomes, far outweigh any benefit. There was a regional pipeline proposal from Dubbo to Nyngan. That's poor value for money, so they've not shortlisted that. Replacement of Gin Weir, which has been on the cards for a long time and has been, sort of campaigned against. That's not shortlisted because it's limited alignment with the project objectives. But they've gone with improved groundwater supplies for Dubbos, and they've shortlisted that because it's valuable complementary resilience measure, and that program would enable Dubbo to access a bore field between Wellington and Dubbo. They would buy potentially, a farmer's water rights, tap that groundwater and pipe it to Dubbo. And so we'll be attacking them over the non-use of the 120% because I think that they've used flawed modelling. I think they've not misunderstood, and I think I think I know who did the modelling, and I know the sort of outcomes that they would wish, which are not. So the pipeline, the bore thing may do things for Dubbo, but it doesn't do anything for the towns that are downstream. Whereas the 120%, if it's understood correctly, doesn't require any change to the water sharing plan. It would there'd be some regulatory changes about how water is captured in Burrendong, and that would only capture the top of very large floods and would effectively fill an extra amount in Burrendong. So it wouldn't affect irrigator share, it wouldn't affect the environmental share, except in large floods. So there'd be effectively no downstream impact on the environment if it's regulated and understood correctly. So that's the sort of battle we're having this afternoon.
Thank you, Councillor Ross. Yes.
Just another question through the chair. So, other than councillors being present this afternoon, are there other members of the community going to be there?
I hope so. I believe so.
Thank you. I do believe there are a number of community members who have committed to attending this afternoon, and I think, as Councillor Ross has indicated, there will undoubtedly be some very carefully articulated comments and feedback delivered from our community. I think we'll probably have some pretty strong opinions on all of that. Thank you. Anything further? Thank you. Right, so that's some mayoral minutes moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. So moving on then, the first of our committee reports is the meeting of the Plant Committee held on Wednesday, 4th of March. Councillor McCloskey, thank you. Councillor Kelly. Councillor McCloskey.
Through the chair. There's just one major report presented to the committee with respect to the 26-27 plant replacement program for adoption. Well, not dare I use the word concerning, but the dollar figure indicated to fund that plant replacement was nominally north of 1.8 million. But in light of that, there are a number of major items of plant listed to be replaced in the coming year, namely pave liner, two backhoes, street sweeper are probably the four major items of plant. So given the extent of the budget, or the budget to be asked, we've actually asked staff to go and prioritise the plant from top to bottom, basically, so that if 1.8 million is not forthcoming in the budget, then plant can be then removed from the plant replacement program based on priority to match the budget. So that'll be further discussed again at the June meeting at the end of this financial year, when things are a little bit clearer as to where we sit financially and what the budget is. So, yeah.
Councillor McCloskey, any questions, comments? Nothing further. Thank you. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. So moving on to the meeting of the Roads Committee held on Wednesday, 4th of March. Also, thank you, Councillor McCloskey. Councillor Ross. Councillor McCloskey.
Through the chair, there are a number of items listed for discussion, namely the 10-year roads renewal program, which sets out the program of work with respect of local roads, be it reseals, resheeting, construction for the next 10 years. So that was a major item of interest. I did mention to Sylvester earlier in the piece that, and I did have it marked to mention on the day of the meeting, but I didn't pick it up. I believe there's a small mistake in the year 2930 with respect to the resheeting program, which is easily amended because the program is revisited each year in terms of what's to be done the following year and for the ensuing use thing moving forward. So that was probably the major item. There was another report, the Roads Asset Management Plan. Now, I'm not going to go into enlightening you on that, but if Sylvester wants to give you some insight to what it's all about, please do.
Would the Manager of Engineering Services like to add any comment?
Yes, Madam Chair. The major thing that came out of the assets management plan was the huge backlog that we have. We haven't been replacing our assets on time, so that has generated quite a significant backlog. There was a graph in the asset management plan that showed the required renewal budget versus what we can do with the reasonably available money. So yeah, there's a gap there that we need to work on. Hopefully, we get grants to bridge it. But yeah, it's work in progress.
And then the other item, again through the chair, was the realignment or the potential realignment of the Corinda Road Industrial Access Road down at the Old Gin Yard, where there'll be a compulsory acquisition of some land to create a double T intersection, if that makes sense. So you'll go down, hit the Industrial Access Road, turn right, go towards the river, then turn left and go over the levee and out of town, and get rid of that four-way intersection that is potentially when I say an accident waiting to happen, there have been some incidents there in the past. So.
Anything further? Councillor Houston, yes?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Have we got funding for the realignment of the highway?
Madam Chair, not at the moment, but in the 10-year program, I think it's been inserted in one of the years using our reasonably available money. So hopefully we do it then. But in saying that, we've done what do you call a road safety audit of the intersection. So when one of these federal or state grants come about, we try to apply for it.
A few years ago, quite a few years ago now.
Thank you very much. Anything further? No, I guess just one minor thing that I was going to ask. To Divisional Manager of Engineering Services, the time frame on poisoning timber regrowth on the road shoulders.
Madam Chair, that's not going.
It's happening now.
Again, through the chair, some of that's actually happening now, is it? That spraying of the regrowth?
Yes, it started on Wambiana Road. I think that's done. They were on Ellenjura by yesterday, so they're progressing.
Are we doing that in-house or we got a contractor doing it? In-house.
Thank you very much. Nothing further? Okay, so moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. Next, we have the Waste Depot Committee held on Monday, the 9th of March. Councillor Surdity, thank you. Seconder, please. Councillor McKay, thank you. Councillor Surdity.
The meeting really went very well. One of the upshots that come off it was we visited the survey form that we were putting together and modified it to fit a little bit more relevant to the questions. That, as you've already alluded to, the survey has gone out. I've also put it out to a lot of the community groups that I'm involved in, which covers about 100 people all up. So it's definitely out there. I know there's people coming back with it, and they have filled it in because they've been asking for this for a lot of years. When it all boils down, it's $35 per quarter, which is less than $3 a week. So a cup of coffee costs you more than that. So, and for that, you will get the bin. You will have the instructions will be on the top of the bin. I believe it's the yellow lidded bin that will tell you what can and cannot go into that. Richardson's are also getting another truck that will cater for the recycling, so it won't be going into the general waste bin. There's what I'd like to see also happen is when all this is done is to actually get a list of the various agencies or town groups that have recycling opportunities for various things, because there's a lot of people out in the community that don't realise that we do have some bits and pieces that can be recycled and they're pretty local. So if we can tie all that up together once we get it all going, that would be the main thing. So that survey is due back on the 7th, I believe it is, of April. The other thing is we allocated the money that was in to go into fixing the machinery that's down at the tip. So it not only does it need to work on its engine and something else, it will all combine from that money that we've got. That will allow it to be done at the same time, so it'll bring it up to speed there and then. Apart from that, the only other thing was it's mentioned in, I think it's in our minutes about it was mentioned as a 12 kilowatt in one place, but it's actually 15. So it's a few kilowatts better quality than what we've got. So yeah, and as I said, there's $31,290 which will go into the fixing up with the excavator. I don't think I've missed anything. If anyone's got a query, I'm more than happy to try and answer.
Thank you, Councillor Surtees. That was very comprehensive. Are there any further questions? Councillor Houston?
Can you talk us through the return and earn facility? What happened there? I was interested when I drove through Merriwall, which is also a very small town, that they had a return and earn. Wondered how they got it, which of course you can't answer. But
the return and earn at this stage of the game, it's actually, we've got somebody in town that does it, which is JC's Cafe. There's, from what I can gather, it's just not a viable proposition to take it from her and try and put it into somewhere else, because a lot of people do actually take that sort of material down to Dubbo, to the various places, because it's quick to be able to get rid of it. I know JC's doesn't do it on an overly regular basis, but at this stage of the game, that's what we're hoping will come out of this survey as to the actual possible need of it, and then we can start following down the track to find out where else we can tie in the loose ends. But at this stage of the game, we do have someone in town that can do it. We don't want to particularly take the business away from the people who are already doing it in town.
Anything further? Yes.
Just with the wood chip material, is that so this week's not all out of the race course?
It will be getting, that's the area of the suitable area that we want to be able to put it in. And then every so often, 3 people will come out and they will smash it down, and then it's available for the people to come and take on anytime they want. So we've got to be very mindful of anything that goes into the tip can't come out unless it's in that little shop area. We're not allowed to take anything out and give it to the public. So we've got to be mindful of what we actually put into that tip will stay there. So if we can recycle as much of this stuff outside the tip area, we've got a better chance of living it around, given the needs of the people in town.
Branch will be stockpiled out there, and then having
It'll be stored over there. Chop it up down.
Thank you very much. Anything further on that item? Nothing. So it's moved and seconded. All in favour? Thank you. Next, we have the meeting of Mannix held on Tuesday, the 17th of March. If I could have somebody to move and second. Councillor McCloskey, Councillor Surtees, thank you.
Just remove the report as listed.
Thank you, Councillor McCloskey. Just one thing I was going to ask the Divisional Manager of Finance and Administration, just regarding the timetable for the draft operational plan and estimates, whether that's on track at this stage, and if you might have any comments on that at the moment.
on track. It's been set. Kicking off the first round of estimates and monitor.
That's what we'd like to hear. Thank you very much. Anything further, Councillor
Just one.
McCloskey? Yes.
Question through the chair. Page 2, priority matters. Splash Park Lake closure. What's that?
Thank you, Councillor McCloskey. I could have a guess, but do one of the divisional managers know definitively?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair. I think one of the community groups asked for late closure. Yeah, that's just if that's possible.
Just in light of that, can you physically lock down the skate park, splash park area as opposed to just turn it off?
Sorry,
How do I make
through
physically
Divisional
stop?
Manager of Engineering Services, I believe the answer's no, but you.
Yeah, I think it's a no.
Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Houston?
Through you, Madam Chair, on page 8, the human resources section, the three have been deleted because round 3 is closed, no appointment. Does that mean those positions are no longer available? I can't see them anywhere else. Can somebody shed some light on that?
Thank you, Councillor Houston. Divisional Manager of Engineering Services.
Yes, Madam Chair. The grant, that round of grant is closed, so the funding for those questions is not available anymore.
Disappointing. Yeah.
Anything further on Maddox minutes? Thank you. That's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. The meeting of the local traffic forum held on Thursday, 19th of March. Councillor Kelly, thank you. Councillor McKay to second. Thank you. Councillor Kelly.
Okay, the local traffic forum took place on the 19th of March. It's morphed from a committee to a forum, a discussion forum to seek and receive information from New South Wales government predominantly. Two main issues discussed on the day were the Anzac Day parade and the triathlon. Sylvester presented the applications and so forth that go through to formalise the process, and they're all in order. Carrying on from that, we had a brief general discussion on the business, and one of the items that was brought up, in the absence of Sergeant Regan, who was tied up with local crime on that day, we had a brief discussion on the e-scooters and e-bike arising problem in Warren, and how it blends in with the rest of New South Wales experience the same problem. And obviously that's an enforcement problem to be looked at later on. And there was information received that the signs at Nevertine and so forth being replaced, and it's all underway. And one last thing is that we needed to just add a course map for the triathlon into our application just for everybody's information. Other than that, it was fairly short to the point. The New South Wales government rep, he's being replaced, he's been promoted up in the ranks somewhere, so we'll probably meet the new rep at the next meeting. And that encapsulates the meeting.
Thank you, Councillor. Anything further? Questions? Thank you. That's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. The reports of delegates, the first of which being the ordinary meeting of the Castlereagh Quarry County Council held on Monday 23rd of February. Councillor Houston and somebody from second. Councillor Jackson, thank you. Councillor Houston?
Yeah, I'd like to move that the report be accepted. Noel and I headed to the meeting. Not a lot happened. A lot of it was taking in the new meeting policies and stuff like that, and there wasn't really many presentations.
Thank you for your attendance at that meeting, Councillor Houston. Any questions, further comments? Moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. Next, we have the ordinary meeting and annual general meeting of the Alliance of Western Councils held on Friday, 27th February. Now, I'll just, sorry, I don't think we have the, no, sorry, just to clarify, that was an ordinary meeting. That was not also the annual general meeting. So that's why there's only the one set of minutes from the ordinary meeting, so contrary to what is on the agenda. So I will move that. If I could have somebody second, Councillor Voss, thank you. So speaking to this, I was actually in attendance for the first time. I hadn't been to a Western Alliance meeting previously. It was actually held here in this room, so that was good. All of the member councils take turns to host, so this is our turn, which is why I was able to attend. I guess the most important parts are around key actions, and the big item at the moment is a joint submission that's in progress with the Murray-Darling Basin Plan Review, which I did mention also in the mayoral minutes. So that's a collective response on behalf of the Alliance, so that's going to be quite a large piece of work that's underway, and I believe it's due in about a month's time, so not a very long time frame to finalise that. A lot of the meeting was also taken up with presentations, which are always beneficial and informative. So we had presentations from the Murray-Darling Association, Transport for New South Wales, the Murray-Darling Basin Authority, and the New South Wales Premier's Department, and also, the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development. So there are quite comprehensive notes from those presentations within the minutes. I'm not sure that I have much more to add to what is in the minutes, but happy to take any questions or any comments from anyone. Thank you, Councillor Houston.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Page 7, the regional development trust. Could you give us some background on what that is and how it might benefit us and Warren potentially?
Right, yes. So that is there probably is more information in here, but I will endeavour to answer that. So that is a newly formed advisory board, and this is in the minutes because there was some question about why councillors and council staff shouldn't be part of that, but it has been confirmed that for various reasons, councillors and council staff are not eligible to be part of that advisory board. So that's the extent of what was discussed and clarified at the meeting. As to what the trust is, I would have to take that away and come back to you, Councillor. Thank you. Any further questions, comments? Thank you. So it's moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. No policy items for this month. We'll move now on to the reports of the General Manager. First of which being the outstanding reports checklist. If I could have somebody to move and second, please. Councillor McCloskey. Councillor Houston, thank you. Councillor McCloskey.
Just move the report and ask that any relevant staff might comment on their particular area with respect to some of the greyed out spots. And yeah.
Thank you, Councillor McCloskey. Yes, so I believe there's 4 items marked with an asterisk to be we could have a quick look at those if we like. That's so the review of the Warren Shire Council Public Art Master Plan. So that's been adopted. The UML Waste Depot Committee. That's on page 7, going to page 8. So there's 3 points there. final comment that that's been done. Next on page 8 is regarding the operational plan and estimates timetable. So spoken to that, and the workshop is also arranged. Page 9, the proposed budget variations, adjustments, changes that have now been made. So I think those 4 items are okay to be deleted as per the recommendation. But unless there's anything specific, closing it further comments, managers. Thank you, Councillor Crosby.
Question, please. Page 11. Now, when we had the sewer main assessment done, and then there was a belief by someone else that the data wasn't complete. Where's that ended up now?
Madam Chair, we will present that in the next Water and Sewerage Committee. There's a report preparing to go there. Meantime, we are gathering more information on it.
Thank you. Anything further? Moving on then, so that's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. So in recognition of Warren being a healthy town and to keep awareness of a healthy lifestyle, the Council will be standing while dealing with item 2 of the General Manager's report, being committee and delegates meetings. Could I have somebody to move and second, please? Councillor Surdity, Councillor Jackson, thank you. Councillor Surdity.
If I can just add one to the committee list. The Switch Library Conference will be taking place on the 10th to the 13th, I think it is, of November down at Bathurst this year.
Thank you, Councillor Surdity.
I know we've got one more that goes on to that general list, so it's not.
See, that's being noted. Councillor Jackson.
Could I please add the annual general meeting of Outback Arts, which is on the 30th of March, so next Monday. I'll be attending. Cougar is booked.
Thank you very much. I can see that's been noted also. Anything further? No questions? Enough for a stretch. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. So now we have the works progress reports, the infrastructure projects, reports of the General Manager still. Somebody to move and second. Councillor McCloskey, Councillor Kelly, thank you. Councillor McCloskey.
Through the chair, just move the report as listed.
Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Houston.
Through you, page 19, library renovation and expansion. Have we got the money to do that? It's in the plans, it's quite.
Thank you, Councillor Houston. I will ask the Divisional Manager of Finance Administration to make a comment on that, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this stage, the project is still in its design stage. There's some things that we need to finalise in terms of the proposition, the drawings, architecturally and whatnot as I said, checking all structural design and compliance aspects of it and getting a more accurate view of what the project will or won't cost. So from there, it will be subject to what grant fundings become available. So there has been a bit of change there from streams of money within the library circuit. So pending those, I think the applications need to be in by October this year if we're going ahead. So it really does depend on what revised criteria and so forth they set around the streams of funding. So we really don't know at this point. But as soon as something is available, that will be coming back to council naturally before it.
Councillor McCluskey.
Through the chair, just in light of the restoration up here behind the medical centre, everything's still on track with the contractor believing they'll have it finished by June.
Thank you, Divisional Manager for Engineering Services.
Through Madam Chair, yes. The plan to start in April or May, and we're confident that they can finish it by June.
Yeah, so that's still the, yeah.
Last chance, anything further? You're just holding your pen up, Councillor McCluskey?
Sorry?
You're just holding your pen up?
Oh, no, sorry.
Thank you. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. Moving on then to item 4, the 2026 Local Roads Congress. So I might just ask if we can actually add in the two councillors who have expressed their interest in attending. I believe Councillor Wass and Councillor McCluskey. Is that correct? So we might add your names into the recommendation, if that's okay, and ask for somebody to move and second. Councillor Wass, are you?
Yes.
Yep, you're not looking at me in confused way. Yep, great, thank you. So if I could have somebody to move and second, Councillor Jackson, Councillor Surdity, thank you. So that's fairly straightforward, I believe. So thank you, Councillor Wass and Councillor McCluskey, for volunteering your attendance. Any questions? Anything further on that item? Thank you. So that's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Now onto the reports of the Divisional Manager of Finance Administration, first of which being the reconciliation certificate for February. Could I have somebody to move and second? Councillor McKay, Councillor Surdity, thank you very much.
Just move that the statement be received and noted.
Any points of clarification?
So we could just
Thank you, yes.
for information, councillors, referencing the BBSW and certain rates. A couple of those investment listed as number 4, for example, is a bit behind, a bit lower than what BBSW is. So we've had a few low rates. It was just kind of a timing thing. Then there was a bit of a review of council's on-call account with CBA. Set for the next 6 months at 3.8%. So touching things to try and catch up, given the short flow of cash coming back from various grants. It's now kind of coming back in the door, so we can hopefully catch up on return on investments. So rates are still a bit low.
Thank you for that. Anything further? Thank you. So that's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Next we have statement of rates and annual charges. If I could have somebody to move and second. Councillor Surdity, Councillor Kelly, thank you. Councillor Surdity.
I'm moving the recommendation, and it's good to see that the percentage of rates coming in are still creeping up, not going backwards, which is good.
Also agreed, yes. Thank you very much, Councillor Surdity. Anything further? Thank you. That's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Works progress reports, item 3 for finance administration projects. Somebody to move and second. Councillor Wass, Councillor McCloskey, Councillor Wass.
I move that the report be noted.
Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Certainty, yes?
I don't know whether this is the place it comes in, but I was just wondering, I remember reading, I think it might have been maybe a meeting or two past, where they were talking about looking at revamping the Blue Note system. Is that still on the agenda? You know, when people, residents want to put in an issue about something to do with the designing of the form, they were looking at redesigning the form. Was I dreaming or did I?
Thank you, Councillor Certainty. I'll ask the Divisional Manager of Finance Administration to answer that, please.
Through you, Madam Chair, thank you. That has been reviewed in part. There was a bit of a trial new arrangement that was set up by our staff member. It was still subject to a bit more fine tuning, and or we are hopeful that we'll start to see some traction with the electronic records management system, which will actually cater for that area and see a lot of improvement. So at this stage, Sylvester might be able to offer a little bit more, but I don't think that we have actually made any significant change to that process at this point.
So it's still people ring up and make it through the active sessions and just put in a Blue Note as per usual until that's all evened out and defined and God knows what else.
Thank
correct.
you. Yes, Councillor.
Thank you.
There is an online form that can be used as well.
Is that available on the website? Easily available.
Yes, I have used that myself. But yes, it is very simple.
Okay, now one other question. What section is it under? Is it under engineering or is it admin or?
Councillor, I believe that it's on the homepage of our website. I'm not sure if
just an idea of where to look for it. That's
yeah, so thank you. Yes, if you would.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure exactly where that sits, but we can certainly get that to you after the meeting.
Thank you.
That's suitable.
Yes, thank you.
Fine, thank you.
It must be easy to find Councillor Certainty because I managed. Thank you, Councillor Jackson.
Thank you. Since Councillor Certainty has raised the topic, I could ask through you, Madam Chair, what is the process when there is zero response to one of these concerns raised? Like if a person who raised a concern does not get any confirmation of receipt or any response to the concern they raised at all, what's the next step to follow up with that? Should they call?
Thank you, councillors. Okay, thank you, Councillor Jackson. I would say that a call should be made, but perhaps the Divisional Manager of Finance and Administration would like to.
Certainly, thank you, Madam Chair. We have an internal registry system through records that captures all of that. On the paperwork, it does require people to indicate whether they want feedback or not, but it's generally if somebody has a concern, a complaint, whatever, they'd like information back usually. So this has come up previously, and there has been more of an effort made from council's record process to capture that and indicate it. So that's reported monthly. I might be wrong here, but I think through Mannix. So those lists are actioned, and ultimately, if somebody doesn't receive a response or an adequate response, that they feel there's more to it, that they'd like to know something else, they can, of course, contact council at any stage. Usually, that would be through the general manager that escalates, but certainly divisional manager level as well. Naturally, Sylvester would handle engineering and so forth. Yeah.
Thank you. And just on the online system, I did receive a confirmation number, so that's something to use when escalating. Sorry, Councillor Jackson, you had something further?
So just clarifying that if somebody does not receive a response at all or an acknowledgement of receipt or anything like that, they should just phone the council and they will not be diverted, but their concern will be taken on and action at, say, divisional manager level, for example, cascaded down to find out what the action is or what is happening. It's just that I've had a number of people say to me they haven't had a response, there's been no action, etc. So I just wanted to clarify because I don't want to tell people the wrong thing when they come to me as a councillor with their
Yeah, no, thank you, Councillor Jackson. I think as far as, yes, if I were to raise a request and not receive a response, I would make a phone call or come in, confirm that it's been received and ask for a follow-up. As the Divisional Manager of Finance and Administration has said, some things may be escalated to the General Manager or through the Divisional Managers, depending on the type of request. Yes. I think it's very reasonable to expect a response if you have requested one, or to at least know that your request has been received and is being looked at. So, and that has been discussed before, I know. Thank you. Councillor Certi?
Just a clarification, that was originally why I raised that many months ago about the fact that people weren't getting replies. And like you, I had the same issue, people coming up and saying, I don't hear anything back. But you don't have to worry about sending me the link because Councillor McKay has just kindly pointed out where it is and what it's called. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Anything further on that?
Through you.
Councillor McKay, yes?
It seems that this has come up a few times, this issue about people putting blueies in and not getting notified on it. I'm assuming we do have a process in place for when a bluey comes in, and is one of the first processes to respond to the lodger of that bluey?
I will start answering that with Councillor McKay and then pass over perhaps to the Divisional Manager of Engineering Services this time. It depends. Sometimes the person doesn't actually request contact.
Yep.
For example, it might be something simple that just needs to be done and they don't ask or need to be called about that. Can't think of an example off the top of my head, but it's not always the case that the person who's raised something wants to be contacted or needs to be. But if they specifically request it, then definitely. As far as the process, I might ask if the Divisional Manager of Engineering Services can elaborate on that, please.
Yes, Madam Chair, the process is currently more paper-based, so we'd expect gaps in it. That's why we try to go into an electronic system that at least automates the responses, some responses, and also enables escalation of the requests up the chain. In terms of the current process, a bluey comes in and it's forwarded to the relevant staff, and the relevant staff try to contact the customers and they action the request and they provide feedback. As I said before, it's a paper-based system, so there might be some gaps in the trail. So sometimes the customer is not contacted. But then again, we review this the requests every month in Manex and also individually at my level. I've fielded questions from customers who have not been responded to, and I've managed to escalate it to put it to the relevant staff to action it and provided feedback to the customers. So yes, if a customer feels that their request has not been actioned or they haven't been contacted, they're free to call council and I'll be happy to step in.
Thank you, sorry, is this on the same same subject? Yes, sorry, I was just going to say something. But yeah, go Councillor Kelly.
Just a case in point, Sylvester, I'll give you a number. 30139 is a case number. You want to have a look at that?
Yeah, I was just going to say if councillors are aware of individual requests that do require escalation, today is probably a good opportunity to let the Divisional Manager of Engineering Services or perhaps the Divisional Manager of Finance Administration, if it's that department, bring it to their attention. So, yes, thank you. Anything further, Councillor McCloskey?
Yeah, just in light of that, and this has been an ongoing issue for a long time. It's mentioned on numerous occasions about the lack of response in relation to blueies put in by ratepayers with concerning, things. Is it impressed, forget the word, on the relevant staff that they do attend to the request of a response as opposed to being just shoved in the tray, something put on it, and not worry about it? Because this is happening far too often. It just keeps resurfacing, going around. So I don't know how you can install the want in those that need to respond to the people given they've asked the response. Now, the response may not be the answer that the person wants, but at least that it is a response. They may not get a yes, they might get a no, but at least they get a no in the response for whatever reason. But to get no response at all, this is never going to go away. Never going to go away.
I think we'll take all of that as a comment rather than a question, and certainly speak to the General Manager about all of this feedback again.
It's just going around and around. It has a long time.
Can you add one more?
Councillor Serti, yes.
Who's the person that should actually respond to the client, to the resident? Is it the manager of the department, or it's not the actual staff members meant to reply, is it?
Councillor Serti, it depends.
Add that one to the list.
I believe it should depend upon the level of request. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
In light of what's been raised, I would certainly encourage councillors at the first occasion to refer that on to the General Manager and or Divisional Manager level for escalation, but also reinforce that to the public they have that option and should take that up if they have further concerns that things aren't answered, responded to, or actioned. That way it does go back through a records process where everything kind of goes through that cycle, doesn't get missed. I did the same thing with lots of ratepayer inquiries and other things that don't actually go through that Bluey system at times. So it just formalises it, records it, and until that referral is made and escalated, you can be somewhat unaware. Things come through and they go out to an operational staff member to action. So yes, there could be some improvement there, I'm unsure, but until we get the feedback and escalation, it's a bit unclear in all cases what's actually gone on. Staff may have tried to call people multiple times and not reach them, for example. Things like that.
Thank you. Councillor Jackson?
Brief question. Who in council owns the customer service management processes within council in terms of specifically managing customer concerns and having proper processes and timelines for responses and things like that? Who owns that? Is it yourself or Sylvester? Like, is there an owner of that process?
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. I believe, again, it depends. It's across the board and depends on the request as to which department that goes to. Was the Divisional Manager of Finance Administration going to say something on that?
Certainly. So the process is they come through, it's a document, it's a record, it's a register, value. It is recorded, goes through that process. As far as an ownership goes, it's an organisational thing. It does depend on who's actioning it. There's obviously 3 areas of council which are assigned on that basis. So then it should go back to that record process and say, has it been actioned, closed, done?
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. This might be the last question because I don't think we can really move forward much more today. But
Just more a comment, and I apologise for the misunderstanding. I wasn't asking your detailed procedure. I was asking from a quality management perspective, customer relations, customer complaints. And it's just a comment. Somebody must own that, and then a procedure, I suppose, comes at the end of whoever owns that.
Thank you. Well, we will take that. Thank you, councillors. We're back online after after an unscheduled morning tea break due to some technical difficulties. We were just finishing up on the works progress reports, finance administration projects. So this discussion had coming to an end, and we will now move on. That has been moved and seconded. So all in favour? Carried. Thank you. And moving on now to the reports of the Divisional Manager Engineering Services. Item 1, Works Progress Reports for roads. To move and second, Councillor Kelly. Councillor McCloskey, thank you. Councillor Kelly.
Basically, just the information we received and noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions, comments? Thank you. Councillor McCloskey.
Through the chair, just with respect of all the flood repairs that have been done, I notice there's a lot of completed areas of work in the report. When was the final date for that to be signed off and finished and money spent for it?
Madam Chair, it's 30th of June this year.
30th of June this year. And you're confident we'll hit the deadline? Will we have completed the work?
We are hoping to, but in saying that we are having challenges with construction water, which might stretch it. So I've put in a request for variation, an extension of time with the construction authority to extend by another 9 months, just to preempt this water issue. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Anything further? Thank you. That's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. Item 2, Works Progress Reports for Town Services. Somebody to move second. Councillor McKay. Councillor McCloskey. Thank you. Councillor McKay.
Just move that the information be received and noted.
Thank you. Anything further, Councillor Surdity?
In relation to the mowing of the parks and stuff, how often does that happen, do you know?
Thank you. Divisional Manager of Engineering Services.
Sorry, mowing of the parks. Main one I'm asking about is the one at Nevertar, because I've got people coming up and say, we never see them here mowing, but I know it's not, I told them it's not a weekly process. You won't get it done on a weekly basis, but is there an actual set record as to when it's done? Is it fortnightly or?
Madam Chair, it's as required.
As required.
Okay, but I think that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything further, Councillor McCloskey?
Question, if I can, with the chair. On page 15, makes mention of diesel pump percentage load and individual cages. That back here some time ago, it was indicated that there were going to be 6 or 7 permanent pump installations around town on various floodgates. Where is that up to?
Thank you. Again, Divisional Manager of Engineering Services.
Madam Chair, the pumps have been procured. They are at the depot. Also, the generators have been procured.
So is there a time frame that these permanent pumps will be in and potentially operational on a needs basis?
I'll take that on notice, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Anything further? If not, that's been moved and seconded. Are we all in favour? Carried. Item 3, Works Progress Reports for grants. We to move. Yep, Councillor Kelly, Councillor Surdity. Thank you, Councillor Kelly.
Focus was the recommendation to be received and that. Thank you.
We're on item 3, aren't we?
Yes.
With respect to the plant and the fuel situation we're in at the moment, how are we holding with our fuel supplies?
Excellent question, Councillor Crosby. Divisional Manager of Engineering Services.
Madam Chair, we are in a good situation. We have fuel enough for at least 2 months.
We have fuel enough for 2 months.
2 months, yes.
So, based on the scenario that things are going to get worse before they get better, Do we plan to at some stage, once we reach a level within our storage capacity, we then top back up before we get too low?
Anything further? Thank you. That's been moved and seconded. For all in favour? Carried. Thank you. Reports of the Manager of Health and Development Services. Item 1 being development application approvals. Sorry, let's get to the right page here. Somebody to move and second. Councillor McKay, Councillor Kelly. Thank you. Councillor McKay.
Let's move that the information be received and noted.
Thank you. Anything further? Thank you. Moved and seconded. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. Item 2, we have the works progress reports for health and development services. So there are some items that grade out on this table, as you can see. Councillor Watts to move. Somebody to second, please. Councillor Houston. Thank you. Councillor Watts.
Motion be received and noted.
Thank you kindly. Anything further on this item? Councillor Sedley.
The Dolly Parton thing for the library. I thought that was gone by the wayside because the library doesn't actually get the stats for kids who are involved in that. Am I on the right report? Or am I in them?
Sorry, just point me to the this with
Is it on page?
oh, page 3. Yes, thank you. Yep, right.
I just had a feeling that they weren't going to look at renewing that particular program because they don't get the stats for it. It's done by the health nurses, so yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Sedley. I'll just ask the Division Manager of Finance Administration. I'm just noting the dates in the comment, which might align with your thoughts, but I'll hand over.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, so that was actually part of the targeted early intervention funding area. So it's listed there as Warren MPS. So that's funding that on application council make available for various initiatives throughout the community. So that is still going ahead. That 5,000 is available for them. It wasn't an initiative run by Warren Shire Council.
No, it came through the Department of the nurses at the hospital. So it falls back on them then. We don't have to worry about it.
So after these ones finalised, I think that's the end of that particular program as well. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sedley. Anything further then on item 2? Further, so it's moved and seconded. For all in favour? Carried. Thank you. Next, we have item 3, being Victoria Park and Oxley Park Plan of Management. If I could have somebody to move and second. Councillor McKay, thank you. Councillor Jackson. Councillor McKay.
The recommendation be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor McKay. Councillor Jackson, yes.
Thank you. I don't know if it's a dumb question. Is there a risk associated with our the government actually not reviewing our lease of this land or our use of this land? Is that a risk, or is that not going to happen ever?
I don't know that we can say it's never going to happen, but I don't particularly have a comment on that. Would the Divisional Manager of Finance Administration?
Thank you, Madam Chair. As far as I understand, as far as Crown Land is concerned, and the use of it being for community benefit, where council has the vested interest subject to the plan of management, the intent of this item is to meet that sort of compliance and requirements from Crown Lands Office. So there are specific wordings, items that they need to see in the plan of management, which is part of this being in front of council today. And then we'll flow on as usual.
Thank you. That following on from that, that was something I was going to just mention because I needed to clarify that myself. We had a copy of the plan of management circulated to us by email on the 11th of March. So on that document, there was an adoption date of the 2nd of December 21 with a resolution number. So we had actually adopted that plan of management back then. But what's since happened is that the Crown Lands Office required particular wording, which is the wording we have here in this recommendation, which is why that plan of management, with only very minor adjustments or corrections, is before us again. So we have adopted it previously, but we are required to adopt it with the specific wording of this recommendation. So that's why. So that's clear. Anything further on that? No. So that being the case, that has been moved and seconded. So if we're all in favour of the application, carried. Thank you very much. So there are no notices of motion or questions with notice. To my knowledge, no confidential matters. So we will bring the meeting to a close and thank you all for your attendance and contribution. Thank you.